People love this. It's good for you.
Right, but this one looks like it's giving me the thumbs up.
American-born Chinese in the newest series on Disney+, which was released on May 24, 2023. It is based on a homonymous graphic novel by Jin Lun-yang. The novel itself is not an autobiography, said Yang, but it is drawn from his own experience of growing up as a second-generation Chinese immigrant while trying to fit in the American culture.
It's fiction, but I did pull heavily from my own life. For instance, I have this scene where the main character puts bathroom soap in his armpits because he doesn't have any deodorant. That is something that I actually did when I was a kid. I also have lots of different scenes about the emotional realities of feeling alone or feeling like you don't fit in, and those were emotional realities that I've lived through.
The 8-episode series follows Wei Chang, played by Jimmy Liu, the son of the Monkey King Sun Wukong, played by Daniel Wu, on his journey to find the sacred Four Law in order to defend the uprising against heaven, led by his father's prolonged rival, the Bold Demon. Wei Chang steals his father's most powerful weapon, Jin Wubang, and convinces Jin Wang, played by Ben Wang, an average second-generation Chinese immigrant high schooler, that Jin can help him find the scroll after having a dream that prophesies it. Throughout the series, Wei Chang and Jin, being entangled with their own matters, finally agreed to defeat the Bold Demon in the final arc with a mesmerizing combat.
Yeah, or maybe not, honestly, because at the end of the day, I'm still just like a weak, dumb, whiny little cow baby and everyone knows it.
Aside from that main plot, the series also introduces many other subplots. The one worth mentioning is definitely that of Jin Wang's. As a high schooler in a dominantly white environment, Jin has to learn to navigate through countless Asian stereotypes that are embedded in the conscience of the people around him, from his principal assumption about his family parenting style.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Mrs. Wang, but you spend a lot of time with Jin, is that right?
Yes.
Because I recently read a book about how parents, particularly mothers within your community, tend to operate. I just think that kids like Jin, might be starved for more positive reinforcement. I also read that families like yours are very achievement-based, which is good. It's very good up to a point.
Through his peers' opinions that seem nice, but not really.
By the way, we think whoever posted that meme is so messed up. Also, BTS is like my favorite band in the whole world.
Ruby, stop.
And other annoying stereotypes from people around him as well.
Ni hao. That means hello in Chinese.
I know.
Then there's Jin's parents' tense marriage. Both of them, as first-generation immigrants, similar to their son, struggle to find a way to fit in America. Jin's father has been in the same position since he started working, and he has never spoken about his promotion. Jin's mother, a caring mother and wife, finds difficulties to express her love for the family, to the point that the only way that she can tell both her husband and son how much she cares about them is through singing and riskily investing the family savings in herbal powder. Last but not least, there's Jimmy's story. Jimmy once played an iconic character, Freddie Wong, in a classic American TV series called Beyond Repairs, where he acts as a typical Asian role that Asian actors back in the day would often be cast as. An Asian butt-of-the-joke role that conformed to numerous typical Asian racist stereotypes. Well, as you can see, I am filming this video separately because I just realized that there are certain important disclaimers that I want to give you. First off, I am not Chinese, nor I am an immigrant in the United States. I'm just an international student who is studying in America, and I come from Vietnam. But here's the thing. I find myself relating to the character Jin in this movie a lot because I too study in a very white dominant university. And I have to say that sadly, almost all the things that Jin encounters, if not all of them, I encountered myself here as well. And second of all, I haven't really read the source material, so my review and my opinions are solely based on my experience on the series itself. I might come up with different opinion, different approach once I read the source material. And without any further ado, let's get into it, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Well, let's dive into the things that I like most about the series. First off, I love the Asian representation in this series so much. I know this phrase is overused, but it is truly thanks to everything everywhere all at once. And before that, thanks to Crazy Rich Asians, that the entire film industry in Hollywood, as well as the Asian community out there, finally realized the importance of Asian representation on screens. A coming-of-age story of an average high schooler is nothing novel, but a coming-of-age story of an Asian American is truly a breakthrough. Never have I ever seen a Hollywood product that nearly half of the dialogues are written and spoken in Chinese. Never have I ever seen a Hollywood product that creatively and intriguingly brings Asian Chinese culture on the screen and retells the story of Journey to the West, a story which adaptation in 1986 and 1996 were the only things that I've binge watched every single summer. And most importantly, never have I ever seen a Hollywood product that can speak lightheartedly, but understandingly and passionately the struggles that the Asian community has to go through in order to integrate into American culture. Similar to what Jin encounters, our teachers do not even try to pronounce our name correctly. Our peers make fun of our culture, and much worse, some even think that saying certain things or facts about our own culture that they have stumbled upon or read on the internet only once will make them look less racist. And like Jin, we slowly develop internalized racism, thus reject our own heritage. We crave to be perceived as a cool kid, and if the culture that we grew up with is not understood, nor it is taught to people around us so that they can appreciate it, why would we accept that culture as our core identity anymore?
I don't want to tell anyone else how to feel, but personally, I thought it was just a harmless joke. Oh, and one more thing. Greg Wallace is a good guy.
Secondly, as a big fan of Journey to the West, I have to say that the series did a very well job retelling it. To a lot of Asians, Journey to the West plays a crucial part in our childhood. Back in the day when Vietnam was not exposed to Western culture yet, Vietnamese kids would grow up reading Journey to the West comics, watching its animated and live-action adaptations while grandparents would try to take TV back to watch Three Kingdoms. I grew up learning a lot of Chinese mythological figures, and it is a blast to see its Hollywood version for the first time. Daniel Wu's Wukong is so humane. He is not the cocky, arrogant, and naughty Wukong in Journey to the West that I am familiar with. Rather, he plays a much more mature Wukong, who is now a father, concerning about his son making the same mistake as he did. I also like Ronnie Chang's Jigong, as he is probably one of my favorite Chinese mythological characters aside from Wukong and Neza. Michelle Yeoh as Hua Yin is amazing as I expected. She also struggles assembling IKEA tables as many do.
And I present to you your new coffee table.
And on top of that, the martial art, wuxia, shown be hard praised. It reminds me a lot of the Chinese and Hong Kong shows that I grew up with, and come on, the choreography and cinematography make it even more fantastic to watch. Thirdly, Ge Hu Guan never disappoints his audience. It was not until episode 5 that we see Ge Hui's character, Jimmy, in the series not as Freddie Wong, but as Jamie, who is now teaching Shakespeare. He is invited to play the role that once made his career blossom in the reunion show. And I feel like Gary is not only sharing Jamie's story here, but he's also sharing his own story. Because for decades, we could not find a job in Hollywood after Indiana Jones, the one iconic movie that made him known to American audience. He felt like giving up until, again, Everything Everywhere All at Once, where he shined as a hero.
And the Oscar goes to...
Such story is truly inspiring. It speaks to the heart of the Asian community out there, and his speech did move everyone's heart. At least it did for mine.
The only parts that I got offered were Notes and Neighbors. I wanted to play the hero. I just wanted to be someone who goes on a journey, shows some courage, helps others. A hero can be a person with superpowers, or they can just be someone who fights for something that matters. And I hope that there's a kid out there watching this who feels he doesn't have to be a punchline.
Lastly, I was surprised at how impactful Jin's parents' story is to me. Their crumbling marriage is hinted in the first couple of episodes, and as the story goes on, the tension between them also grows. The scene where both of them talk to the principal about Jin truly speaks to me, as I see my parent in Jin's parents, and I believe so do all the Asian kids out there. The fact that Asian parents tend to be more authoritarian rather than a widely accepted authoritative parenting style in the West does not really mean that they do not love their kids. They push their kids because, as Jin's father said, they believe in them. I'm not gonna lie, I teared up watching that scene.
This feels different.
Because our son is different. Because our family is different. My wife is tough on my son because she believes in him. She pushes him because she knows he can take it. We are achievement-based because we have to be. And I'm sorry, but your books and your card has nothing to do with us.
Mr. Wang,
If you were really paying attention, you will know our last name is not Wang, it's Wang.
There are a couple of things that I think the show could have done better. First of all, it is a Disney Plus series, and at the end of the day, I have to say that I have so many concerns and problems with this. There is an inconsistency in pacing, with the first episode being over 43 minutes long, while the other 7 episodes being less than 30 minutes long each. This happens to a lot of other Marvel series that I am a big fan of as well, and it annoys me too much. It feels as though Disney wants to make the first episode as promising as possible, so that the audience are willing to invest in the entire show, then they just spend the bare minimum on the rest of the show. There are many unanswered questions that I have after watching it, which could be easily addressed if the show is paced out a little more and gives some of the actors and actors some screen time. For example, the first episode we see Jin steals a jacket that he thinks would make him look cool. Fast forwards to the final episodes, Jin's mother cleans his room but does not find out the jacket. Rather, she sees the hoodie that Amelia, the girl whom Jin has a crush on, gives him. I wonder, what is the point of showing Jin stealing that jacket in the first place if there's no consequence nor any value added to the series? I wish his mother found out that stolen jacket and something catastrophic would happen after that. Maybe a serious conversation, for example. And then there's Anuj, Jin's best friend, who at the beginning of the series is not on a speaking terms with Jin. The audience soon learned that Anuj once wore a cosplay to go to encourage Jin in one of his soccer match, which embarrassed Jin, hence the breakup. However, their conflict is solved too easily, and despite Anuj's showtime is minimal in the first few episodes, the producers decided that Anuj should play an important part in the final arc of the series. I mean, how did this work? I wish we could see more of Anuj, maybe show us some flashbacks or show us how Anuj become Jin's best friend and how they break up. That also leads me to the next point, which is the show tells too much but does not show a lot. And this is probably my biggest problem with the series, which is a direct consequence or cause of the series show's running time. It often makes me feel so disenchanted with the characters because even though everyone is amazing in the show, their rationale is not apparent. For instance, Wei Chang keeps saying that he has a dream that Jin will help him, but we never get to see what Wei Chang sees. How are we as audience supposed to relate to Wei Chang if we do not feel how he feels? The series also states that the bull demon is threatening the heaven and that he is planning an uprising against it. But throughout the entire show, we do not get to see how threatening he is, nor do we see if he has an army or not. Because let's not be frank, the Jade Emperor's army is huge. Princess Iron Fan does not appear until the very last moment, and where has she been the whole time? It feels like the Bull Demon has been working on his own, and well, for any of you who do not know, Princess Iron Fan is the Bull Demon's wife. In Journey to the West, they give birth to a boy named Red Boy, who caused Monkey King so much trouble that Wei Ying has to help Wukong with. So where are those powerful people? Well, despite of a handful of shortcomings, American-Born Chinese is a relatively entertaining series to watch, although some of the subplots at times are disconnected. They all contribute to and emphasize greatly the main theme of the series, which is essentially a story about a person learning to accept their cultural identity. Easy to watch, but just as easy not to watch, wrote Hale on the New York Times. American-born Chinese strives to charm you in ways that may work or may make you wince from their familiarity. For me, as its core, I believe the series successfully sent numerous meaningful and supportive messages out there to the Asian community. And I look forward to seeing more products like that down the line. Thank you for watching.